is Leonie.
And I'm Crystal Dior.
And I have this tone because this is our third time trying to record this whole thing.
We had our mic on mute.
Okay. Anyway,
we're here.
Our audio has been a journey. When it's good consistently,
it's amazing.
It's going to be what a good feeling.
Y'all, watch out.
Yes.
Watch out.
We're going to be feeling ourselves when our audio is good 3 days in a row.
So be patient with us, y'all, because we are trying. Please trust, we are trying.
We are doing
We're not
our
unaware.
Damnedest bestest.
We're not unaware of the echo, okay?
We're not unaware of how inconsistent it is.
We're working on it.
Right, but we're doing it anyway. Okay.
So today's topic,
yes,
right? We're excited about this. We've been talking about this topic for like a couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
It's killer couples.
Killer couples. Dun, 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 dun. So like it's Halloween. So like, killer couples, but then killer couples, the ones that is killing it.
So either your coupling, your relationship is killing your dreams and your happiness and your joy.
Right. Or y'all is partners and killing it together.
Killing it.
So let's see which relationship are you in? We'll make that determination today.
Yes.
So let's start with our one-liners. Okay. So don't be desperate for a relationship because you could be signing up for a dream killer.
God. Like, ain't that the truth?
Listen, I've definitely been in some situations, and I've also been a dream killer back in my younger days. I didn't know how to encourage
You were
folk.
killing dreams?
I was snatching. Somebody once told me, it was like, as soon as somebody has an idea, you just snatch it. I was really young. That was many years ago.
Oh, Lord.
And I'm like, well, I mean, it just sounds like a stupid idea. But then I learned to think positively.
Thank the Lord for growth, I guess.
Yes.
And those who survived Leonie back in the day.
Yes. If you survived me back in the day and you still kept going, congratulations.
Okay, mine's is love's a battlefield. But please, some of these couples are out here acting like they need a therapist on speed dial. Let's unpack the drama. Let me do that again. Y'all ready?
Okay, do it again.
Love's a battlefield. Please. Some of these couples are out here like they need a therapist on speed dial. Let's unpack the drama.
Okay, so let's get into that. We about to unpack some drama today.
Yes. So let's do who said that.
Okay,
this week is mine.
Yes.
So here's a quote. Love recognizes no barriers. It jumps hurdles, leaps fences, penetrates walls to arrive at its destination full of hope.
Who said that?
It's a woman.
Okay.
She was, I think she won like a Nobel Peace Prize. I might be lying about that, but I feel like she did.
Mm-hmm.
Black woman.
Mm-hmm.
She's no longer with us.
Okay. No longer with us.
Yeah, she was an author.
Toni Morrison, is she with us?
No, she's not. But no.
Okay.
She was a poet though, like Toni.
Okay. Maya Angelou. Okay.
Maya Angelou.
Nice.
So when you're figuring out how to pursue things that you love with someone that you love, remember this quote.
Right. And if your partner is not filling you full of hope, especially when it comes to your dreams, maybe that's something you need to rethink.
Listen, if your partner is jealous of you, run. Like,
right. Or if they were like me, just snatching dreams out the air and not even giving them time to breathe. Yes.
I had a partner who was like jealous of me, but like it would be passive aggressive.
Oh,
like their life kind of wasn't working out. Like stuff just was going wrong and like valid. So when I would tell them about any small victory, they'd be like, "Oh, you're so blessed. Must be nice." And I'm like, okay.
And so it's either that. I've heard of situations like that. I've also heard of situations where it's like the partner is like, sure, go ahead and do it, but it's not like a real genuine support. It's like you could do what you want type of thing, but the support where they're asking you about it and encouraging you, like there's no care behind it. It's just like you just whatever you want to do.
They're not trying to nourish it or help you achieve it.
Right. Exactly. So then how do you, when you have something you want to achieve, or if you have a goal that you want to reach, how are you in a relationship where you come home and the person that you're with doesn't even care to talk about it? Like there's no, engagement with them about your dream.
That feels like a partnership that you're alone in.
Yeah.
And that's not a partnership.
That doesn't feel like a partnership.
It's like coexisting with someone.
Right.
But living separate lives. It's weird. Right?
It is.
So let's jump into it.
Okay.
The person you choose to live your life with is the most important decision you'll ever make. You can either be a killer couple or a couple that kills dreams, like we were talking about. And Leonie's married, happily married. I'm not married yet. But I've been in some relationships where I was like, okay, I'm going to be very unhappy here. Like, you don't care about me having a purpose or a calling, you know? And that's hard, especially like women. I mean, depending on who you ask, we're called to submit, right? But you don't want to submit to someone who doesn't care about your happiness or doesn't care about you using your gifts in the world or doesn't care about you pursuing your whatever you're called to do, right? They just think, well, you're called to be my person and cook for me. And that's some people like that because some people want to be like that type of housewife, but not me. Right. So
I don't even know what the alternative is because when I was dating, it was really surface level and never really had any like deep relationships before my husband. So everything with them, with anybody who I dated in the past, we didn't really talk about dreams and stuff like that. I got married at 28. So anything before 28, it's like, you know, very young minded type of things. So I don't even remember.
No, but I think because I started dating later, like I didn't even really start dating till around the time you were getting married. I think I was like 26 when I got my first kiss or something
Really?
Yeah, I know. Don't cry for me. I'm okay. But so because I was a little bit older starting, I was having these conversations like early, you know, like I remember, you remember this. I was for a short period of time talking to this guy. And it was around the time we were starting our podcast.
Okay.
Do you remember this conversation? And he was like, mind you, like we were just getting to know each other.
Yes.
Right. And I was telling about the podcast and he jumped and I'm just like, he was like, well, do you think you have time for a podcast? First of all, how do you know what I have time for? We just started talking. And he was just like, well, aren't you of the age where you're going to want to get married soon? What if the podcast, you know, takes off and then you're going to be traveling? Don't you want to have kids? Don't you want to get married? How are you going to, you know, what if we get married and I have a business? How are you going to help me with my business if you're...
It's like, why are you only looking at the negative side of the fact? Where it's like, and also not even a reality.
He was just thinking about himself. He was like, I want a partner to help me with my business. If you're trying to pursue a dream, how are you going to help me with my business?
And it's really hard when I hear that, especially with a lot of men, how they want a woman to just be their supporter. And there's not like, how do you then imagine yourself reciprocating that to the woman that you're looking to be with? Do you think a woman just wants to sign up and say, yes, I just want to be up under you and just be here just for you? Like you don't have your own life, your own beating heart, your own lively life and dreams that you have. That's nuts to me.
And honestly, I think that that's more of what they think they want, because I know many couples who the person was like that. Like I had a friend, she was all about her partner. She didn't really everything was about him. And the first 6 months of marriage, he was like, you need to go get some friends. You need to
exactly.
go because that gets old. Life's a long life. You don't want someone just up under you forever.
Yes.
Like you want someone who has something to talk about because they did something outside of just you all day, right? So they can come and have a conversation with you because they did this while you're at work, or they read, you know what I mean? Like that gets boring.
It does get boring. I'm like, and I think so, especially for people who are unmarried, and I've been here before, it's like it's kind of hard to see the qualities of somebody to think about the qualities that are necessary for longevity, and especially in marriage. When you think about marriage and you're not just in it for like a 5-year type of thing, like a lot of long-term relationships are, even 10 years. It's like, can you make it to 30 years? Can you make it to 40, 50 years? And what are the qualities going to take you through those tests of times? And if you are interested in somebody only being your, basically your support system, only that, and not all the other things that I think a healthy marriage should have, then you're going to get bored very quickly. And then the thing that you think you want somebody to do, cook all your meals and do all this and be there waiting on you hand and foot, that you're not going to respect that after a while, because then you just have a servant. You know what I'm saying?
You don't have someone who you can bounce ideas off of, because all they do is sit up under you and they have the same ideas as you because all they do is talk to you. Right? So
exactly.
I just think, it's interesting. So it's easy to accidentally end up in a killer relationship.
Yes.
I think healthy relationships boost. I think people miss what healthy is. I mean, healthy, I'm sure, has its own range of definitions.
Right.
But I know when you're in an unhealthy thing, it messes with your happiness. It messes with your mental health. You're stressed. You're anxious. You're always worried. You're always on edge. It just messes with every fiber of your being in something unhealthy. So it's worth pursuing. It's worth waiting for. And it's worth also you knowing who you are before you like try to figure out who we are. Like, do you even know what do you like?
For that part, it's like, what do you like individually, and what do you want out of life individually? But sometimes you don't know all those things. You don't know everything in the beginning, and it changes. You transform.
You
the amount of evolution, amount of transformations that I've had and Robert has had in our marriage in the past 8 years. It's like we're not the same people we were when we met. So it's like if having somebody with a flexible mindset,
evolving with you.
Exactly. We grow together. Yeah. So it's like, we didn't go into this thinking, well, you're going to be this way forever and I'm going to be this way forever. And if you change, then it's,
Yeah. You fall in love with each evolution version of yourself. Yeah, exactly. I think that's important. Not expecting the person just to remain the same. And then when you see your partner growing, figure out how maybe I need to grow too. Like I see that they're going back to school and learning. Maybe I need to, like, how can I sharpen myself? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even when you think about your friendships, a friendship that you've had for years. Like I've had friendships since I was born. I've had friendships 20 years, 30 years. And I think what keeps us friends is not that we're the same people. It's that we are interested in each other. Like, oh, what happened in your life this week? Oh, okay, that's cool. Like, how can I help you? Like, and I think it's the same thing in any relationship that we're in. And I think people miss that. They think that this person's just supposed to make sure I'm happy, but you're not always thinking about how do I make this person happy.
That part, and going back to just friendships as well as romantic relationships, when you have that base level, that base foundation of we are what's the word? Like innovative, like being with somebody who's innovative, who has like a thirst for life and excitement. Yeah. Those type of things where it's like, you're like, oh, someone who's interested in like the what's next aspect of life, like being on one accord with that. If somebody's like, I just want to go to work and go home and like, this is it for me, they need to find other people who are interested in that. But if you have a zest for life, then for business, and you have an entrepreneurial spirit, then finding somebody who also is aligned with that, so that you could, even if you don't have the same temperament, like one person could be more talkative and an extrovert, somebody could be more reserved and an introvert, but that's still having that zest for whatever that is, be a nerd about something in life where you guys have that in common, is what can carry you through.
Yeah. You know, like when people are shocked when like a couple's been together like 30 years and they just pop up divorced. I think it's one of those things to where one of the people was tired of turning their light down. Yeah. Or tired of not being able to be themselves, or evolving if their partner's not evolving. Someone got tired of not being accepted or being able to be who they were in that. Like, even like we didn't put notes about this couple, but when I think about like Tia and Corey Hardwick.
Oh, yeah.
And people are just like, well, why did they've been together for this long? Like, and neither of them are saying what happened. I know they both said there's no cheating. So what happened? Right. You know what I mean? But I watched a bit of her new reality show, and she said that he's the only man that she's ever dated. Like, he's her first everything. And even when you watch, she's done a couple reality shows, and I've watched all of them, kind of like the Mari sisters. But it seemed like she was really, really, really into him and figuring out how to make him happy. And he was just like Mr. Cool. Okay. Like, kind of
cool in what way, though?
Like, kind of
laid, definitely doesn't give Mr. Cool vibes. Like, you mean like laid back?
Well, like she was dorky and fun and lighthearted, and he would just be like, "Okay, Tia."
Oh, really?
Yeah. You know, like, he didn't really engage in the energy with her, which it could just be them having different personalities. But sometimes it felt like he was kind of like shooing her a little bit. Yeah. Like, they did the black love thing, and like she started to talk, and he was kind of like, be quiet. She's like, oh, sorry. So it seemed like,
really?
Yeah. Okay. So it seemed like this energy, like he,
like maybe like he was maybe put off by her nerdiness or something like that.
Yeah, or he just didn't accept it, or maybe it annoyed him. I don't know. But it seemed that way. And it also sometimes seemed like, not that he underplayed how successful she is, but like, I know whenever he would do interviews, he claimed he didn't know who she was back then when they met. Back then, sister, everyone knew sister.
Right. So what did he think he was? Because like, you, at the end of the day, you attract who you are. Yeah. So if you felt that way about her, then you must be projecting from what's within.
Yeah. So like I said, she has not said why they divorced, But she said that she is in this era of loving herself, being confident in her own skin, finding out who she really is. So I'm like, that's meaning in this relationship, you were not able to do this.
Right. I wonder, because she also is not, her and her sister aren't
right
communicating. They're not talking. Not. So I wonder, a little bit of me is like, what is it? Tia is clearly going through some type of evolution, transformation. But what is it about the people, the relationships that you're alienating yourself from? Is it because you felt like they were not
allowing you to be yourself?
Or are you feeling kind of like in your head about stuff,
Yeah, it's probably a mix of things. But it seemed like they were growing in a different direction. Like she was, in her 40s, figuring out like, man, I didn't really experience life and I want to. And maybe the environment or the circle I'm around isn't supporting that.
Okay. When it comes to killer couples though, I don't know. If I haven't seen the reality show, does she feel like her relationship held her back in any way?
She doesn't say that, because Tia wouldn't say that, but it's insinuated.
I think I do get the vibe that maybe she subconsciously didn't allow herself to shine, to not make her husband feel like he wasn't enough or something like that. Because I know that he was an actor and he wanted to have a career, and that never really took off.
Because I'm sure she did not take breaking up her home with children lightly.
Yeah.
So there was definitely something this partnership was killing with her, and she felt like she needed to be free from it. You know what I mean? I know she said something like, I don't know what her faith is. It seems like she's on a faith journey too, but she mentioned like having to like hide. I guess she likes crystals and things, and feeling like she had to hide that from her family because they wouldn't accept that,
right?
Because they're Christian. So I'm sure there's a lot of things she felt like she was hiding. Pieces of who she was,
or somebody's going to try to stop her. And that's why I was saying, like, some of it is just in her head because of this transformation she's going through. She feels like her family wouldn't accept it, and she wants to not have their opinions involved. So she wants to alienate herself so that she could live without judgment.
Yeah, live free.
And that's I understand that to a degree, but that also could be a danger zone.
Yeah,
because also, like, while you're trying to discover yourself in this kind of like a midlife crisis, it seems like she's having, and when you're trying to discover yourself, you still don't want to come away from your core and from your foundation. And so you have people around you to kind of help, like, hopefully if they're doing it in a critical way, in a way that's unhealthy, I understand why you want to distance yourself, but also having the people who've known you your whole life, there's still a benefit to, like, hey, this isn't like you. I know that you're going through a shift, but remember who you are, type of thing.
Yeah.
And this is not even, I guess this is the part of the killer couples, because this is a part of it where it's like, when you are a response to being in a relationship where it feels like they feel like they're killing your dreams, you're going to want to alienate and distance yourself from it. But think about what is the catalyst of this separation?
Yeah.
Are they coming from a place of love, or are they coming from a place of indifference, or,
Yeah. I mean, it definitely feels like an identity crisis. And believe it or not, like, a lot of people, when they add extra hats to their identity, they lose themselves. So her wife, mom, actress, it seems like somewhere in there, twin, good girl, Maury's sister, somewhere in there, she realized she didn't know who she was. And I feel like she's trying to find herself.
Yeah.
And even in supporting, because I've had a lot of friends go through these seasons of, like, even though you're looking at someone go through identity crisis, you cannot make them see themselves the way you see them, or make them rush through it, or make them, you know what I mean?
They got to go through it.
The best thing you can do is just support whatever they're doing and pray. And, like, if it feels like it's dangerous, or of course be like, hey, okay, we'll okay over here, but you have to kind of let people
explore their life. It's their life at the end of the day. So it's important. So we're talking about it from, like, the results aspect of being in a situation where it's a killer couple. But if you're in a killer couple situation right now, where you want to withdraw, it's keep these things in mind with what is the lack of support that you're feeling, and how is there a way that you could rectify that to where it's a conversation you can have. If the door is closed on that, then take the steps to get to a place where you feel supported and happy, whether that's with or without that person.
Yeah, I agree. There's this couple that we've talked about a couple of times on here because I was such a fan of their business, and I think they're a killer.
Yo, the turkey leg hut, folks.
Killer couple. So if anyone has been to Houston, you've heard about the turkey leg hut, because it's one of those things. It was a Houston staple. Like, you didn't hear about food in Houston without hearing about the turkey leg hut. Like, it's good. I don't even like turkey like that, but I like the turkey leg hut. Like, it's good. It was always packed, line out the door, always busy. Like, they kept the street traffic. Like, this was the spot. Just like beginning of this year. It was a spot. Just less than 12 months ago.
They've been having back-to-back craziness. I'm like, I'm surprised this restaurant is still standing.
Listen, I met the couple because I had some family in town, and we went on like a Wednesday.
Okay.
And it was empty.
Okay.
And they were there. The wife's beautiful, like stunning, kind of pretty. Her name is Nakia. The husband, Lynn. He kind of reminded me of Suge Knight. I'm not saying that but he kind of gave Suge Knight energy, like big guy, extremely deep voice, like,
oh wow,
freakishly deep. Like, when he talks, you're like you kind of are stunned. Deep voice, big guy. She's just this pretty. They're very polite, very kind. So that was, when did my cousin come here? I think she came here maybe end of last year. So when I heard about the first set of drama, which we talked about, which was like them divorcing, and the divorce allegations are that he was abusive to her and to the staff. Apparently he was like very verbally toxic to the staff.
Okay.
Like hostile work environment vibes. So they got divorced. He has a criminal past, so I guess technically he wasn't on any of the legal documents for the business. So she got the whole business, which she probably was happy about until she realized she couldn't handle it. And they had toxic energy back and forth. Like, he opened a business called the Oyster Hut. It was a food truck that he parked across the street from the turkey leg hut.
But this would make for a wonderful comedy series or like movie.
Like, it's crazy
because it's so like, just think of like petty exes.
Like, that's how you get a food truck,
it's
called
so
it the
funny.
Oyster Hut.
It's so
and
funny.
Park it across the street. Like, that's trolling to the 100th extent.
For her, it was terrible, but for a plot, it's hilarious.
And it's sad because the oysters look good, y'all. Like, I follow him.
Oh my god! It's still happening.
Yeah. The oysters look really good. I'm like,
he said, you don't gotta have a clean record for a food truck.
No, and so he ended up having to move it because she got a restraining order and he couldn't be within a certain amount of feet. But then the turkey leg hut caught on fire.
So I want to know who committed arson.
They think it was him because he had another business, a restaurant business, and he got kicked out of the partnership. And then that business caught on fire years ago. Yeah. So
he's got
but no, we don't know he did it. This
Diddy
is just
history,
humor.
Diddy Crystal, rumor. Diddy criminal history.
This is just rumor. But when you go on his social media, he which is like toxic. Diddy did this too. Not to compare them, but to compare them. But like, when you go on his social media, he posts old pictures of them all the time, and him with his kids, like, oh, I miss my family. Can't wait to get my family back. I love my wife. Like, all over it.
I just like, y'all really had to put everybody in the middle of your drama. Like, literally, it feels like when you had a double date or something, and the two couples the couples are arguing like crazy, and then you're just sitting there like, oh my God.
Then it's worse because she recently had to file for bankruptcy.
Oh, why?
Because she ran out of money. Like, she couldn't manage it all. So now the business is just shut down.
Wait, so she filed for bankruptcy because business had slowed down. They weren't making enough money for their overhead.
Yeah.
Okay.
And again, so this is another drama on top of it. There's this gospel singer. I can't think of his name right now. He's light skinned and bald.
Oh, Jonathan Reynolds?
No, light skinned and bald. Okay. He's one of the choir ones. Like, he's
I don't know.
Anyway, light skinned bald gospel singer. His wife.
First of all, sorry, Jonathan Reynolds, if you're not light skinned or bald. I don't know.
He's neither.
That's just the first person that came to my head.
Lord, we gotta get her back in the church, y'all.
I am in church. Just gospel music don't hit like it used to hit.
Jonathan Reynolds is not like, he's like our age with a head full of hair and skinny.
I thought so. Yes, I'm like, I know that's
this
wrong.
Guy is older. Like, oh man, his name was top of. Anyway, him and his wife were friends with Nakia and Lynn, and when the divorce happened, I guess they were closer to her. So she reached out to them on 2 different occasions saying, like, we need cash flow. Like, the business, I think they ended up giving her like $200,000 or something like that.
Yes, I remember watching the TikTok and they were like, the news report, they were like, they gave a lot of money.
Yeah, to her to keep it afloat.
Payroll and things like that.
And now she's bankrupt. So they're not going to get their money back. So now they're trying to sue her to get their money back.
I wonder if she's paying for all the divorce stuff. Is that why?
I don't know. They said she filed like she couldn't, which is one of those things where you realize, like, man, like, although she thought, oh, I can run this business without him, clearly he was more involved in things than...
I don't know. It's like, because that's tricky. It's if there's a much reason why you could file bankruptcy, but I imagine with all the money that they were bringing in, if they were packed all the time, I wonder if they were bringing in enough revenue to cover their overhead. And because you could, just because you're packed don't mean that you're profitable.
That's true. Mm-hmm. That's true. I mean, I don't know how long the business has been open. I don't know how many years they were in full function, but they seemingly were doing fine. So it's all of a sudden, it's just within a year of the separation, bankruptcy. So now the business is shut down.
So I really want to know, I want a movie to be made out of this, because what happened beforehand when the business was opening? Like, were y'all good? Like, what was the turn of I guess if you're abusive the whole time, then it's just, and no matter how successful the business is, you got to go.
I wish she could have like sold it. Like
right
when
it
stuff
was
started to go.
I mean,
when she saw that it was becoming overwhelming, sell it and try to get something out of it.
Because that's a lesson there. It's like knowing when to let go of a business and not hold on to it. I mean, I learned that lesson the hard way, and she's having to learn it the hard way too.
Yeah, because it's one of those things to where it's like they started their partnership and it was a success. They were the power couple of Houston, and for it within a year to just be done.
It's been more than a year.
Not since we started talking. We haven't been podcasting. Well,
because Ebony's been here for like maybe 2 years now, and then we went there when she first moved here.
No, I mean since it started going downhill, since they separated. It hasn't been a year.
Yes, it has been a year. It has dissolved basically in 1 year.
No, they've been around years. But
so nobody can get turkey legs now.
It's over.
Now listen, we all know how popular turkey legs can be. It's just smoked turkey legs. Somebody better put some legs on that smoker and get to opening a food truck and get going, because there's
he will, because he's a little
definitely
petty.
A market for that. Right, he probably is. Because it was probably his recipe.
Because I feel like he might be the cook. He might be. Because the oysters look good. I'm not even gonna give you his social media. Find it yourself.
I'm hungry right now,
but they look good. But like they were, So I feel like they're a killer couple. It's like it crashed and burned.
Make it turkey leg shack.
Yeah. Crash and burn. Another couple that's been like all over media. It's like, are they a killer couple or killer couple?
Who?
Megan Good and Jonathan Majors.
Are they still together?
They are.
I wouldn't put them in either one of these categories.
Why?
Because I don't see them as being a couple that's like killing it. Like, oh, they're doing a good. And I also don't see that they're too bad either. It's just kind of like
they're saying that they feel like he's kind of putting like a damper on her shine a little bit because of his negative press. And now this is straight rumor, but apparently she's like fronting bills and things because he's lost a lot of jobs with all his controversy.
Who told you this?
The rumor mill.
Okay, the internet.
The internet.
And they just be making up stuff.
They do. So I don't know if that's true or not, if that's vetted or not.
I don't know. I would say, so here's the thing. Megan Good is like a icon, essentially. And I feel like she's an icon. And I think that being next to him does kind of like, because she wasn't in the light for a minute. Like she was kind of like laid back. Yeah. But it doesn't feel like it adds anything to her. It feels like, if anything, it makes us like, it gives us side eye vibes.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to say they're like, like he's not killing her business.
No.
Or killing her brand or anything like that. But it's like, it would be
like her ex-husband, the producer, preacher man, I feel like he kind of like used her to become relevant.
You do?
Yeah, I didn't know who he was. Did you know who Devon Franklin was before he was married to Megan Good? Nobody did.
No. Mm-mm.
Okay? No one knew who he was. Mm-hmm. He married her. Now he's writing books. Now he's doing this.
He wasn't writing books before?
No, this is his first book, The Wait.
The Wait, that was them together.
I know.
Okay.
We wouldn't have bought the book if Megan wasn't on there.
That's fair.
So, like, his career
we wouldn't care about Jonathan Majors no more if Megan wasn't with him. Even though Jonathan Majors had his own career.
No, he had his own thing.
I feel like I wish that he would have just went back into the shrubberies a little bit and just waited for things to die over. Came back next year with a new movie. But instead, you had to be all out everywhere.
On trial with him holding a Bible in a cup, okay? He did the most.
Right. It's like, just when things go south, get gone for a minute and then we'll forget about it and come back.
Yeah. So I don't know. We don't know if they're killer or killer. We're going to see how it goes.
Right.
I don't know. But I feel like her ex-husband was more of a, like, even with interviews and things, like, he was always the one talking and she would just kind of be there. Although we came to see her. Mm-hmm. We didn't come to see you, bro. So it's one of those things where it's just like, man, like, I don't know if he was okay with her just shining, or if he was like, well, how do I get some of this shine?
And it's interesting because Megan Good she definitely has a longer standing career than both of the people that she's 100%. Been with. And I feel like her name, even though Jonathan Majors was a prominent actor and he had a big name,
still newer.
He was still on the rise, and she had established herself. Yeah. So I feel like anybody she stands next to, especially in the Black community, she's going to be the heavier side of the relationship.
Which, oh man, that has to be a lot. That has to be exhausting.
I don't know. So I would just like for her to be in a relationship where it feels like balance.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, you pour, I pour. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But from what she said from Club Shay Shay, he's amazing. He's definitely amazing. He's helped her grow in a lot of ways. So it's not like it's all like she's the only one giving.
Yeah, he definitely adores her, which is nice. He definitely adores her. She's his Rosa Parks.
Oh, that's weird.
He said it.
I know. It's like, why Rosa Parks? What is Rosa Parks?
Did he say Rosa, or did he say
Coretta Scott?
Was it Coretta?
Yes.
He said
Coretta. It's like, okay. And I don't know if we should continue to make that the goal, because Martin Luther King was out here doing some
I don't like to talk about it.
So anyway. It's like that. And that's going back to the killer couples. The dude wants to just do the foolishness and just have a woman. They have this idea that I just want to be able to do all the foolishness I want to do.
Deal with whatever you do.
And then the woman is just here supporting you because, like, first of all, you are not a civil rights activist. Your cause does not seem like it's going to go to the masses and free a people. You know what I'm saying? It's like I can understand that Coretta standing by Martin Luther King's side because his call was so huge.
Right.
At the end of the day,
bigger than one person.
At the end of the day, I would have been mad at her if she was like, me and the kids is out. You out on the road anyway. You know what I'm saying? So anyway. Tangent.
Let's talk about Will and Jada.
I don't know. So another thing with these celebrities, ever since I'm on pins and needles sometimes when I think about the new stuff that's going to come out about this Diddy stuff.
You think Will and Jada are part of
that? Yes, girl.
Will was he at the parties?
Girl.
Will?
Online. Did you see this thing? So there's a meme going around about have you seen The Temptations, right?
Yeah.
So you know the part where David Ruffin gets kicked out of the group?
I saw it. I think I reposted it on my Instagram because I thought it was hilarious. I remember that scene so well. So
it's hilarious. Yeah. So Will was one of the people in the.
Oh, he was?
Yeah. So I'm like, I really don't believe anything anymore. So I don't believe none of this
stuff. If I had to put Will and Jada in a killer or a killer, I would put them in a killer. Not because I think either of their careers is dying because of the other person. Well, kind of, because Will did kind of get blackballed because he slapped a boy over her. But it kind of feels like they always got some drama going on. Like, Will's an A-list celebrity, and I feel like the drama that he has around his marriage is the only, like, negative point on his roster. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't really hear about anything else negative in regards to Will Smith outside of some toxic going on, entanglements, and
Jada don't ever seem like she want to be with him.
She said on her Red Table Talks, I used to watch that she cried walking down the aisle, but not tears of joy.
Well, because she was pregnant also.
Yeah, and she never wanted to be married.
Yeah.
She never wanted to be married. And she felt pressured into being married because her mom was like, you're pregnant, you need to be married. And Will wanted to be married, so she cried of like horror having to get married to this man. Because like, that is not a romantic story you should repeat.
No, it's like people hold them up on a pedestal, but the more you crack behind that curtain, it's like y'all don't like each other. Like maybe you like because y'all have a life together, but it don't seem like marriage vibes.
It seems like they just decided to be partners.
It sounds like agreement vibes.
Yes, definitely sounds like an agreement at this point, at least. So I would put them in the killer because they're not couples goals to me.
But when it comes to like each other's, but the thing about it is also, I guess, have an understanding of what this relationship is, because Jada has supported him through all of his endeavors. It seems like Will, I'm sure he's able to be more of himself and have the stability in his career because of Jada.
Yeah, and they said they made divorce as a non-option. And they seem real about that. Like, it's not an option. Like, even if we have to coexist in this house with separate partners, like, we're never getting divorced.
I guess it's like what your definition of marriage is at that point, because to that literally is just y'all just have a legal piece of paper binding y'all together.
And their family, like they show up for each other.
Right. But so you're right. Once you're married, especially if you have kids, you're always going to be family. There's nothing that's going to take that away from y'all. So maybe being married for making sure they're not getting divorced for them is more about not wanting to go through the legal battle.
I don't think they sign prenups. From what I heard.
So it's like, I think it's more of like, we're not getting divorced because we're not going to the legal battle. You could do your thing over here, do my thing over here, but we don't need to go through all that paperwork.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like. But I don't know. I also put them in a question mark, like Jonathan Majors and Megan Good, because I don't feel like it's hurting, but I also don't know if it's helping.
Well, it's definitely not. Only thing I would say for him, it's hurting. For her, it's not.
Based on what they talking about with this stuff with Diddy, it could just be as for optics.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, but I just know he's now banned from going to the Oscars forever.
Not forever. It was only like a handful of years.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I thought they said like 20 years.
Oh, maybe 10, 20. It was like a period of time.
He's 50. So he gonna be kind of going when he's 70?
Yes.
Well, it's dying there forever, okay?
Oh, my God.
But let's talk about some positive couples where you see them shining.
And this is where I get into, I don't know if these are positive couples, because when you behind the curtain seems like a bunch of
don't know.
lies.
Mind you, either way, we don't know behind the curtain, so we're just going off of what we see, what we do see of them.
What they put forward,
yes,
so
and
nothing to aspire to, but just giving examples.
Yes. Rihanna and A$AP Rocky.
Okay.
I think they're so cute. Only because like whenever you see any type of interview with either of them, they seem head over heels smitten with the other.
That's nice.
And like super, like she's a billionaire and he's clearly not. He don't care. Like you can tell he fundamentally does not care. And neither does she. And like they just seem like they just adore each other. And it's really cute to watch them interact with each other on red carpets or in interviews, or just like they just seem like they really are into each other, and like they just let each other be and support each other. She's at his concert, he's at her this. Like they just
It's like it's when you're with somebody who was a billionaire before you got with them. Like what other choice do you have?
Right. Who's extremely successful. Yeah. And it seems like, I know there was an interview about like the kids, and he's like a young rapper, attractive, like in his prime, as is she, you know what I mean? But he's so involved with being a dad. He's like, why would we have kids to have nannies watch them all the time? We'll take, if you can't go, then I'll like it seems like they both are actively parents as well as being moguls and shining and growing. And I know that if he were a toxic partner, especially with kids, there's no way she'll be able to do all the million things that she does successfully, because they would be stressed.
Especially if their focus is on being hands-on. And of course, they probably have a village, like
I'm sure,
like mothers and aunts and uncles and things like that to help to, share the load and the weight of being parents, so that they also get that time to be with each other and be at each other's events and things like that.
But it seems like a mutual support. Like him and I think the oldest baby were like did a Fenty shoot. Modeling the Fenty clothes. So it seemed like support. Like he's not a beauty guy, right? But he's like,
A$AP Rocky?
Is he a beauty guy?
He's a fashion guy. Yes,
he's a fashion guy.
Mm-hmm.
But he's supporting her, whatever she's doing. So it seems like a mutual support, and
Right.
that part of what we see is nice.
Yeah,
it's nice to see.
Mm-hmm. Well, who else? So Serena Williams and Alexis Ohanian.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hear much about them, which I like.
Yeah. Well, he's like very rich and successful on his own.
Right.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
I think Reddit.
Yep.
He founded Reddit, so he's probably a billionaire or close dang near to it. But he is all about, I mean, he's retired. I believe he sold the business. And he's just all about being Serena's husband. Like, he don't care if you call him Serena's husband. He's like, yeah, I'm Serena's husband.
Exactly.
Like, he's like proud to be with her.
Yes.
You know, and like,
I love
it's
that.
nice. Like, before she retired, he's like cheering like crazy at the, like, he just seems like he is okay with being
having a champion. And so that's the difference between having somebody who supports you. It's like, I support what you do. That's your thing. I'm going to encourage you. We could talk about it. But then it's another thing to have somebody who's like a cheerleader who roots for you.
Wants you to shine.
Yes, who like pushes you to do the thing that's in your heart to do.
Yeah.
And I have that with Robert, and that's one of the best things I feel like I didn't even ask for that I got in my marriage is I'm a person who has a lot of things I want to do. And so to have somebody who rolls with the punches with me and puts his neck on the line.
Excited. He be in here with us teching, trying to help us figure out. He be more worried about our mics not working
than we do. Exactly.
So as a witness to them, they ain't faking it because like it is sincere. So I love that.
Yes. So I love that for her.
Who your favorite people? Go ahead, girl.
Well, we'll see.
What?
Well, I'm not talking about Beyonce. I'm talking about Jay-Z. I'm talking Jay-Z. We have a big question mark about him right now.
Yeah. Yeah. But are they a killer couple? Most people will say they were. Most people will say her career went like skyrocketed once
I
she
think
married
Jay-Z's
him.
career skyrocketed.
He was already.
I think Jay-Z's career. I think she helped Jay-Z's career for real.
Wasn't he dang near retired around the time they?
So he said he was going to retire from rap, but he's not that. Not that he wasn't successful, but I don't think that he would. I think together I don't know if they would be in as many doors as they would be, and
their partnership.
They are literally a package deal.
Yeah.
So like,
they're the top right now. Like he running the dang Super Bowl music, and
yes,
she's killing it at 40-something years old, packing out stadiums and being a country artist today and whatever tomorrow. Like, so although I don't know what his involvement is with a lot of things. We'll leave it at that. It's like, and I like Beyonce. Am I a beehiver? No, but I like me some Beyonce when I like me some Beyonce. But I can say they're both at the top of their game and they do it well together. One
thing I will say is, regardless of what's happening behind the scenes, he has always been a
supporter.
Not even a supporter. He has been what's the word I'm looking for? Not even champion, but like he has defended his wife, and he has also been outspoken.
He speaks for her. She's more quiet.
Yeah, and she is quiet in a lot of things, but he is like, I'm not gonna let you disrespect my wife. I'm gonna say this don't make sense, like what he did at the Grammys. He's when her last tour, he was at every single concert, every single one. Of course,
he was.
Yes, and as he should have been.
Because of Lemonade, or go ahead.
I mean, I
she on a short leash now.
I feel like had she been on a tour before Lemonade, in between Lemonade and that one, was that? I don't remember, but yeah. So he was at everyone. He was at everyone, and like they're by each other's side, all the time.
Yeah, even up and down,
even with all the rumors and stuff, where it's like, so and so's not supporting them or him. She's like, I'm taking pictures right along with them. Now, one thing the thing that makes me have a question mark around this, whether they are a killer couple, like they're killing it, is because in that elevator situation where Jay-Z got slapped up by Solange, Jay-Z came out looking rough, and so did Solange. Beyonce came out looking like nothing happened. So I know this woman can put on the best face. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? She was looking angelic. Yeah. And Jay-Z looked like he had just got slapped. Yeah. And Solange was like she had just slapped somebody. Yeah. So I don't know now if every picture that we see is like, if it's just appearances.
On a face. Yeah.
And so that's why I have a question mark around everybody.
No, that's true. Like, one thing she is going to keep everybody out her business.
Yes, as she should.
She's going to look like nothing just happened. Like I remember that performance of her, Kelly and Michelle fell.
Yes, she knows how to keep. Now that's she's one somebody who knows how to keep it pushing.
Her poker face.
It's crazy.
If she ever played poker, she would kill it.
She has to. Her
poker face is next level.
Yes.
So, I mean, as far as their business empire, as far as them supporting each other's goals or whatever, they do that well.
Right. And that's they're always going to. So, okay, we go back to, I guess I could say, as far as everything is going right now, I would put them in the killing it section because they're always going to be family. Yeah. She's like, that's the father of my kids. That is my husband until further notice. Yes. And we're a unit. Mm-hmm. And for no other reason, we have business together and we're family.
Like if I were to compare like them to Will and Jada, right? Because let's say they both have partnerships at this point.
Yeah.
Maybe they both are just like, hey, we ain't ever getting divorced because it doesn't make sense to split our money. That like for business purposes, we are staying together. They do it better than Will and Jada.
They do.
Because they keep, even though she told all of us that he cheated.
Will and Jada look like they busting at the seams
all they drama be getting out. Like, come on.
And I think it's because Will wants to keep it under wraps, but Jada is
just be telling it all. Red table talk.
Telling all her business.
Share my heart to the world.
When she was going on her book tour and everyone was like, Jada, we don't want to know no more about your life.
Stop.
But with Beyonce, I think it's because she's a steel trap.
Yes.
That's why they're able to keep that up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And she's not going to let any of his foolishness kill her empire.
Yeah.
You know what? You cheated on me and everyone knows. Let me drop an album.
Right.
I'm going to make some money from this.
And I'm going to tell the story and she controlled the narrative.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, this is a couple I threw in, a little wild card, because there's some recent drama around her. But Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively.
What's the drama?
So I always thought their relationship was cute, because when you follow them on social media, that they make little cute jokes about each other. Mm-hmm. One time she posted a picture with his face cut off. She's like, "Oh, my husband looks so nice today." Like they do little cute, like they're funny.
Ryan Reynolds is hilarious.
He is so funny. You could tell he's like that all the time because of their humor.
Yeah.
But recently she was on
looks so good today.
Yeah. It's like they do stuff like that on social media all the time.
I gotta follow them because that's hilarious.
They're really funny. But recently on her press tour for her new movie, I think she was like trying to be funny and it was coming off insensitive.
Oh, I think I heard something about this.
It was a movie about like domestic violence. Yes. And she was being very like cheeky in the interviews, with like put a bad taste in people's mouths. So it didn't get a lot of movie ratings. Well, people just didn't go see it. But like when I think about their relationship, they actually are an odd power couple. Like I don't know if you know it, but he has like an alcohol line. He
also has like Mint Mobile or something like that. He
does.
He's a billionaire.
Yeah, and she owns a mixer company.
Like a alcohol mixer? Okay. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So she creates mixers and they have like a little, and you don't even know.
Like their synergy.
Yeah. Like her mixer company, she has owned it for years, but she didn't start promoting that she owned it until more recently because she wanted to stand on its own feet before she said, "Oh, it's mine." She wanted to sell just because it was hers.
Yeah. Like Beyonce did with their whiskey.
Yes. So that's kind of how she did it. But like they're a total little power couple, an odd one. Now, I don't know what they're like behind scenes, but they seem very cute. And she's done a couple speeches for him getting awards. And it just seems sincere. Yeah. Like it seems like a sincere love that they have and that they,
How long have they been together?
It's been, I think, almost 10 years.
Okay.
They have like a lot of kids too, like 3 or 4.
Okay, because he was with Scarlett Johansson before her, and I don't know how long they were together.
Yeah, but it seemed like sincere.
I feel like for a Hollywood marriage, that's a pretty long time.
Yeah, it is. And then she said that for this new movie that didn't do well, he was like, he was on the set. He like whatever. She said whatever. Any movie I have is our movie. Any movie he has, it's our movie.
Oh, that's nice.
So I thought that was kind of cool.
They're together.
Yeah.
I could see that. So Robin and I, we have worked from home since the pandemic. And like we've been remote working for the whole time. And even before that, we met at work. So I love being in the same environment.
Yeah.
Yes, he is my forever coworker. So that's another thing. Going to the other side of like having somebody supportive, like even though he champions me and stuff like that, it could get too heavy on the business side, too heavy on because you support me so much, I'm leaning on you for advice all the time. I'm telling you about every thought that's going in my head related to business. And so that intimacy could wane because of it being too heavy on that side. So it's like getting into a balance where it's like there's having somebody who supports, also having somebody who completely champions you, but it's not like too much on either side. Like you still need to have your own, like sometimes you shouldn't care about some of the things that I'm talking about because you got your own life, and my dream shouldn't consume you at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good. So we did, put together some tips for y'all. So how to evaluate celebrity couples or killer couples or killer couples, or how do you create?
How do you know if you're going into a situation with someone who's going to kill your dreams? Yeah, essentially. Yeah. So when you're sharing and they seem uninterested, is it disinterested or uninterested?
Whether you're waiting for you to stop talking.
Right. Or like as soon as you're done saying whatever you're saying about your dream, they say something completely off topic. And I've been guilty of this in my marriage. So like I definitely have to work on that because I can be a little self-centered sometimes. So
I appreciate you owning that. Yeah. Most people don't. Most self-centered people do not admit that they're self-centered.
I am aware. So I'm conscious about when sometimes I get really excited about what I'm doing. And then while he's talking, I'm still thinking about what I'm excited about. So, but if someone is not self-aware enough to do that, then even if it's unintentional, that's something that could kill your dreams.
Yeah, I could see that.
Because you're not having somebody who's feeding that same energy into yours.
Yeah. So which goes into our tip number 1, support and encouragement. There's a study that says supportive relationships are 21% more likely to report higher job satisfaction and higher success at work. So when your partner is clapping for your wins, it boosts your confidence, which translates to you doing better at work and at life and in your own endeavors.
That's good.
So it's important.
It is important to have somebody supportive. Don't think that you can carry it on your own. Because let me tell you, willpower only gets you so far in any area in life. And if you're going to attach your day-to-day life with somebody, then they need to be like in tandem and lockstep with you and your goals.
That's good. Tip 2, communication style.
Yes. Yeah. So would you have something? You have a note on it?
Yeah, no, I was going to say, they say that most healthy couples talk openly and address issues head on. They walk through challenges, but people with poor communication styles, people who don't talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly, that usually becomes a root cause of their breakups later. There's this psychologist couple called the Gottmans. I don't know if you heard about the Gottmans, but they did a lot of years and years of research on relationships. They did a lot of trials, they watched a lot of couples. Anyway, if anyone would be a relationship guru, it's the Gottmans. But they talk about this thing called not ignoring your partner's bids, and how they notice in research couples that ignore each other's bids are more likely to divorce. So what a bid is, if your partner is having a bid for attention and you ignore it, the more bids you ignore, the more likely you are to divorce. Example of a bid. If, let's say I miss my partner and I'm just like, hey, did you see that storm in Florida? Like, that's crazy. There's alligators, in the water in people's garages. My partner's like, oh yeah. And moves on from the subject and doesn't engage in the conversation with me. Father, that's ignoring a bid. Yeah. Right? So you have to be careful of that because you don't realize it. You're like, oh, that's not important. Like, whatever. Yeah. Like, you're not talking. But your partner, maybe the subject isn't important, but they're just using it to talk to you. They're just using it to connect. They're using it to have a conversation. So you're not ignoring this topic. You're ignoring them. Yeah. And that's a bid. So communication is so important with that. So when you see your partner is bringing up a random subject and you're like, why are they bringing up this dumb subject? Instead of calling it a dumb subject, talk to them because they just want to talk to you.
Listen, I'm guilty of that. So a lot of times I'm like trying to do stuff around the house and Robert likes to stop me, grab me and like kiss me or something like that. He does it all the time, which is great. I'm not complaining. Yeah. But I need to stop. And I'm like, but I'm literally in the middle of walking.
I understand. But you got to find a way to reroute it. Be like, engage with it for 20 seconds and then be like, I got to get back to work. You know what I mean? At least you acknowledged the bid. Yes. Like, I don't think you realize it, but in that moment, it might be a small moment of it, but there's a moment of rejection.
Yeah, there is. Oh, there's every time when you don't engage in it.
Yeah. So, then when you start getting used to rejection, then eventually you're going to stop doing it because your body only can deal with so much rejection.
Right.
So then it's the bid stop. And then you're like, why don't you touch my butt when I walk by no more? You don't like my booty no more?
Exactly.
Well, no, you don't like me touch it. Yeah, I do. You know what I mean? So it's like communication's a part of that, and acknowledging like, okay, this is annoying, but maybe my partner's saying that they want my attention.
Right. And that's when you go into the making sure you prioritize intimacy in your marriage over I'm not going to say even over your own dreams, but it's like they're in that moment. You need to prioritize your marriage and your intimacy over whatever task you're doing to get to your dream, and know that, and know how to, manage your time so that you can get stuff done 100%. Still.
'Cause I think in our minds, we have this thing of like, this is my person. They'll be fine.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
okay, they might have attitude, but we're going to be together. Like we either going to be together, we're going to be together. Right.
Right.
But you want your partner to feel loved and supported. So communication is a part of that. Support, encouragement is a part of that.
Yes.
And then research shows that 60% of failed relationships are due to poor communication as a primary factor. So you got to communicate.
Yes. And say, okay, so today, say you realize today that you're in a killer relationship and you have a conversation with them, because a lot of times we think that people know what's going on or know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And one thing that is a thread between my marriage from the very beginning is benefit of the doubt. He's always asking benefit of the doubt, because I could jump to conclusions. I could jump out the window with some conclusions. Okay.
Me too.
So it's like, give benefit of the doubt. Like, no, he's always reminding me, know that I am on your side and I'm rooting for you.
That's good.
So the default should be, if it seems like my tone is off or whatever I'm saying may not line up with whatever I'm thinking or something like that, know that the default is he's rooting for me.
Yeah.
So then when you check that inclination to want to put it towards the negative,
that's good, and
put it towards the positive. So you could try that starting today. Maybe whatever feeling they're having, maybe it's less about you and not wanting you to succeed, but maybe they just don't see it. That's not the way their mind is currently wired to see success in certain areas. Yeah. So that's an opportunity for mindset growth that you guys could have on a journey together. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't have to be like throw it all, the baby out with the bathwater. Yeah. But get to a base understanding of where they're coming from when it comes to the response to your dreams that they may be shutting down.
That's good. Our next one, you already kind of touched about it, the balance between career and relationship. So she talked about it already, but like knowing how to balance it. Right. Knowing that it can't be all one or all the other. Right. If you want to build whatever you're trying to build successfully. Tip 4, body language and chemistry. Yes. How you interact. Positive body language, open body structure. When I worked for Panda Express, they were all into feng shui. And I remember the first thing that my boss taught me, I had to go meet with the founder because he wanted to meet with everybody. And she said, be careful of your body language when you're in there with him because he is very keen on it. And I said, what do you mean? She's like, well, if you are crossing your arms, he's going to feel like you're closed off. If you're crossing your legs, he's going to feel like you're closed off. So try to be very open, sit towards him, because it'll make him feel like you're open and you want to be here. It's like a feng shui thing. And I'm just like, but it's true. Like, you can tell when someone wants to like engage with you versus not, if someone's engaged, not. And it's subtle things you don't realize you're doing. So you have to be mindful. Like, if you're like, you don't want to be there. I know you don't want to be there because so like body language is important. Yeah. You want to do tip 5?
Yes. Scandal free or drama filled. So, are you in a peaceful relationship or one that's constantly filled with arguments and stress? Toxic relationships can take a huge toll on your mental health. So if going back to that point I was making about, the benefit of the doubt, and that may be some instances, but other instances, it could be straight out toxic. Yeah. It's like, who do you think you are? You can't do that, or you're not smart enough for that, or you don't have time for that, especially if you're moms and you are a stay-at-home mom and then you have a husband or a partner who is the breadwinner, and they're like, well, you can't do that. You have these kids, or that's not going to work because A, B, and C. It's like, that is so dream crushing. Yeah. Oh my God, I hate it. So, that's toxic. And I'm not telling you to leave your husband or leave your partner with and be a single mom, but
speak up about it. Try to fix it. Figure out, try to find a solution. So you can't just keep surviving like that because you're just going to be unhappy.
Right. And it's not all about, and there are sacrifices that do need to be made in seasons. But if this is something that has been happening before kids, or if it's something that's been going on and your kids are way older, it's been years later, and you still aren't supported in the things that, supported in your things that make you happy and the things that will help fulfill you, then there's some therapy needs to be had, some conversations need to be had. And I'm not telling you go off and have a midlife crisis, but everybody has an assignment. And if you feel like your assignment you're not able to fulfill your assignment, then it's time to take a hard look at your life and your partner.
Yeah, I agree. I also think people discount how a toxic relationship can impact your physical health and your mental health. They say 40% of people in toxic relationships, meaning you guys are always fighting, you guys are always there's always some drama going on. There's always something with this partnership. You're more likely to have anxiety issues, depression, burnout, stress. And we know for a fact, stress literally can kill you. And so it's draining. Like I've been in those relationships before in the past where it was always something. I always had this like pit in my chest of like some type of drama. Like there's like, this is too much. You know what I mean?
I've never been in that. I've every relationship I've ever had has been a drama-free relationship because I don't do drama.
No, I've had drama. And it wasn't drama like cursing each other out or anything like that. But it's just like one partner just couldn't just be consistent. You know what I mean? And,
I guess.
And it causes,
like
I've
had that in younger years.
Dumb stuff. Just getting mad over stuff that isn't important, or finding a reason to be jealous, or just childish stuff. And it could be toxic. There's always something going on. And you can see it. Your friends see it. Like I've been to lunches with my friends and I could tell. Even though they're not telling me something's going on, I could tell something's going on because they're quiet. They're not talking. They look like they're about to cry. Like that is anxiety. You can't even enjoy happy hour or girls' night because it's not good.
Right.
For you.
It's always some type of fight going on with your partner.
Yeah. Nobody got time for that. Life is short.
It is.
Yeah. But I want to jump to, because our episode's getting a little long.
Yeah.
But I want to jump to this game, this trivia. So I picked some other couples.
Okay.
And without thinking, you have to tell me if you think they're a killer or a killer.
Okay.
Okay, ready? Simone Biles and Jonathan Owens.
Killer.
Bobby Ahoff and her ex-husband.
Killer.
Haley Bailey and DDG.
Killer.
Nipsey Hussle and Lauren London.
Killer.
Michelle and Barack Obama.
Killer couple.
Kamala and Douglas Inhofe.
I don't know enough about them.
Justin Bieber and Hailey Bieber.
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
Will Smith and Jada.
No. Killer.
Prince Harry and Meghan Markle.
Question mark on them too.
Really?
I know everybody's obsessed, but I don't know. I really don't know.
I think they're just the cutest.
I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, I don't have any, it's like, I'm just indifferent. It's like, I don't have an opinion about them.
Let's jump to things I wish I knew.
Okay. So this is more of what I learned. Find someone to build legacy with who sees you as a partner. My mentor once told me in her marriage, no one wears a skirt or pants. They both wear shorts because they are working towards success together.
That's cute. I like that. Things I wish I knew. I wish I knew if you're unsure, just remember no one's got it all figured out. There's no dream couples. Everything that you see online is just highlight reel. So don't compare your relationship to anyone else but you. You look at your health of your situation and figure out if this is helping you be a killer or a killer.
Yes.
All
okay.
Right? Don't forget to follow us on Giggles and Goals everywhere. Don't forget to subscribe. Listen to us on all the platforms. Watch us, like, comment. Even if you have something negative to say, we like the engagement. So comment, and we'll see you all next week on Thursdays
at 7. Bye.
Bye.